In today's session, we will look critically on the reason for the prolonged delay in disbursement, even when date was set on May for disbursement to officially take place. And secondly, we will consider when officially is the new date for disbursement to commence in the grant ecosystem. Thank you for having me on Home Julivia TV today. I remain the CEO of Home Julivia TV. Let's look critically on the reason for the delay in disbursement, even when disbursement was scheduled to take place before the end of May, as we announced here on this channel. First of all, we have always been emphasizing that disbursement processes has long commenced. The difference right now is in the alert actually hitting the account of NGOs, CEOs, and the beneficiary. But as we have always stated, the processes of disbursement has always been ongoing. And in the ending of May, a certain milestone, a very important milestone, was attained, even when the alert did not hit the bank account. You might have heard people saying in the grant ecosystem that certain grant stakeholders like the UAAG country director met with the president in the villa. It wasn't actually the country director of the UAAG alone that met with the president. And the most important thing is for us to understand the reason for that meeting in the villa between other grant handlers alongside the country director of UAAG. Before now, there's been this supremacy battle on which of the grant handlers should disburse the fund to the NGOs to disburse to their beneficiaries. And in this aspect, there have been a series of petitions. A certain grant handler feels he should be in charge of disbursing the fund to every other grant handler to disburse to the NGOs. So in the light of all this, there have been petition even in the month of May on why the disbursement should be overhauled or suspended until their NGO or foundation is the one profiled to disburse the fund to every other grant handler. And this is the very reason why the president decided to engage with the grant handler, because as a fact, when people say the president of Nigeria doesn't want the fund to be disbursed, it's far from that. The president is not delaying disbursement. It is the fight and fisticuffs amongst the grant handler that is actually delaying disbursement. The presidency, time and again, only intervene in the conflict, calling for peace for disbursement to commence. In the last week of May 2025, the presidency invited all the grant handlers to settle this cause that has been lingering among themselves. So the country director of the UAG was there, Global Foundation, the EPIC, Supreme, Senator, AGPGN representative, other grant handlers were there, all to harmonize which of the Apex NGOs is going to be used for disbursement of the fund to the NGOs. And the good news in that meeting is that one of the grant handlers will eventually pick to disburse the fund to every other grant handler to disburse to the NGOs. So take note, there's a process that is already activated for disbursement to commence. This particular Apex NGO is receiving the fund and then will dispense to other grant handlers. So the good news in that aspect is that virtually all grant handlers, grant promoters that has profile themselves for this disbursement that has existed in the grant ecosystem all this while has been accepted or approved by the government to partake in the disbursement. Aware that if approval is not given for most of these grant handlers to receive the fund, the government is already aware that some beneficiaries will go home with nothing after having waited in the grant ecosystem for almost a decade. So in the light of this, the presidency allowed every grant handler, he directed that the fund should be given in some certain percentages to almost all the grant handlers to disburse. On the list that is seen circulating at the moment, 24 hours, GPGen is top there in the list, followed by UAAG, Global Foundation, Supreme, Senator,
Be strong
Other
and
grant handlers are
trust
equally
God for
included
the
in the list, which is not
good things.
popular in the grant ecosystem.
On Monday
And,
at least, before
apart
Monday,
from this, it is equally
many other
important
information
to
will be
acknowledge that
unfold.
what is going
So
to be
please,
disbursed
I
by this
pray
grant
that
handler aren't the same.
God
Some
will
of the grant
keep
handlers are
every one
only
of us alive
approved to
to see
disburse
the goodness
cash
of God.
to the beneficiaries
So please,
as grant, while some
let
of
us
them
just
will
be
disburse
strong.
palliative to their own
Our money
audience,
is our
and
money.
the other
No one
extraction
money
of
will be
grant
cut
handler will
short.
partake in the project
No one
to
money
their
will
own
be
audience of beneficiaries. So the
sidelined.
AGP gem being top in the list will
Nobody will
disburse
commit
palliative
our
to
name or
their own
our
audience. Entitlement
account
for
in
their
the
own
name of
beneficiaries
Jesus.
has already been
So be
stated in our
strong.
previous video. Reference back
Please.
to it for more clarity.
Everyone in
The
Heaven on Earth
UAAG
Family
will be
Material
disbursing
Foundation
grants
that
to their
subscribe
audience according to the
and
UAAG country
God bless
director,
you. Please
while
let us be
the
strong and be
likes of
courageous.
Supreme Hope Project will
In Jesus'
be
name. Please,
partaking
God
in
bless you all.
projects. They will
Shalom.
utilize the
I
funds
remain
given to them
Apostle Nehemiah
to
Biko
impact on
Elijah.
execution of projects
God
in
bless you.
communities, while some certain portion of it will be allocated to their.
All right, thank you very much, Apostle Nehemiah. You've also heard from him. These words are not just a reminder, they are a call to every heart that has been waiting and praying and holding on for what feels like forever. Next week is just a walk away, so be strong and remain very hopeful for this disbursement. The journey to this point is not easy. It hasn't been easy. Yes, sleepless nights, countless questions about what the promise would finally manifest. But now, we stand at the edge of what we have been waiting for. So next week is not far. It's close enough to feel. It's just a walk-away distance. That means you don't need to run. You don't need to panic. You don't need to lose your peace. You don't need to lose your sleep. You only need to walk with faith. One day at a time. One moment at a time. And the disbursement you've been waiting for, that breakthrough that you've hoped for over time, the confirmation that you've prayed for, it's just almost here. Yes.
Ever apply for grants in the grant ecosystem.
Those moments of discouragement and even the temptation to give up have been there. But it's not the time to quit. It's the time to believe even harder. It's time to stay strong, not just in the body, but in the mind, soul, and spirit. This is the moment to speak life to your hopes and also remind yourself that delay is not denial.
Or run away from
this hope and faith is your anchor in this waiting season. It is what has carried you this far, and it will see you through to the end. So let your faith be louder than your fears. Let your hope silence every whisper of disappointments. The finish line is closer than it's ever been, and you are not waiting in vain. So rise each morning this week. Every morning, rise up with a smile. Pray, prepare, stay expectant, keep your everything intact.
These are all
your spirit, help it to be lifted. Don't entertain any form of negativity. Guard your heart and your peace. To everyone holding on, listen to me for the last time. This is your moment, so stand tall, stand strong, and above all, remain very hopeful, because next week is not just another week. It is the week where the long-awaited answers finally arrive. Your wait is not wasted. Your tears are not unseen, and your strength has not gone unnoticed. Be strong, be hopeful. Next week is just a walk-away distance.
Required to access the fund for disbursement to the LGOs, and these are part of the activities that created another sequence of delay in the first and second week of June, which we are. But the good news is the code has been given to all the approved grant handlers to disburse the fund. And immediately after a code was issued to the grant handler to disburse the fund, then was the MOU, a pact between the federal government, the financially regulatory bodies, the NFIU, the CBN, the grant handler. The reason for this is to ensure they will obey the strict guidelines that are being provided for the grant handler to follow astutely to ensure the process does not upset the economy. So the pact is to ensure the grant handler live up to these conditions or agreement throughout the course of disbursement. It's equally important to note that before disbursement will take place, MOU and disbursement template will be released to the grant ecosystem. I'm not sure if the template will be made public, but we on this channel will make the template available to all of you to access, to know exactly how much your organization is receiving and how much you are entitled to as a beneficiary. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe immediately and turn on the notification bell. Hence, when we bring on this template and the MOU, you will be immediately notified. And these are all strong milestones attained so far that should call for celebration, not worry, not frustration, not depression, as seen across the tent in the grant ecosystem. And this is the much reason why we keep emphasizing that all grant subscribers should sustain a highly excitatory and positive state of consciousness. Hence, they will stay alive to receive what God has already made possible for the masses. This is a blessing that so many generations will not be lucky to have. So you need to stay alive to experience this process eventually rolling out to an end. Yes, the house rent is there, the school fee is there, feeding is difficult, you are sick, you need money to undergo operations. God will sustain you till the money hits your bank account to achieve these wild expectations. This is our prayers for everyone, and God has already answered us. You will stay alive and healthy till disbursement alert hits your bank account. Now, the final question to address in this session: when is the official date approved for disbursement to take place? Yes, it's already circulated in the grant ecosystem that disbursement will not reach the NGOs and the beneficiaries in this week. Disbursement is starting officially this week in June 2025. When I mean this week, specifically between the 13th and the 15th of June 2025. Yes, that's the reality. Anyone that tell you disbursement is suspended till next week is simply lacking information. As code has been given to the grant handler, I've heard people agitating for protest or saying government doesn't want the fund to be disbursed. Please note, this grant doesn't belong to the government. It belongs to a non-governmental entity. As such, governments cannot stop the disbursement of the grant. Governments can only regulate the processes, the entitlements that should go to NGOs or beneficiaries. But the government cannot stop disbursement taking place. So the delay is in the hands of the grant handler, not the government. Approval has been given, if not because of the fine-tuning, the screening, the documentation, and the profiling that has been taking place lately. Disbursement should have long started in May. So this week, the disbursement processes will kickstart and roll towards next week and the entire month of June and July. Take note that the MOU is going to hold information that safeguard your own NGO CEO from disbursing accordingly what is approved by the federal government to you. We will still be here to take feedbacks from beneficiaries, especially those who are having issues with their NGOs not disbursing to them as after they have legitimately subscribed to that NGO. Subscribe to this channel so that you will be able to keep track of this activity and equally present your own unique case, if any, for us to help you to troubleshoot it accordingly. Disbursement is segmented. Not everyone will receive in the same day. But the most important thing is let the process commence. One who is already aware that the disbursement has kickstarted will patiently wait for it to get to his or her turn. So depending on the category you belong to, you may receive this week, or you receive it next week, or before the end of June. But the fact is, disbursement is starting this week. Keep their accounts active for alerts to hit. Not when the alert hits your bank account, it reverses back to the Apex account because of some certain restrictions or dormancy. NGO CEOs keep their account active. Dormancy of accounts can reverse your alert back to the Apex account and you miss out of disbursement. Same thing goes with the beneficiaries. Ensure you deposit money and you withdraw in your savings or current accounts. Hence, you will not hear disbursement has started and you don't receive alert. Pending alert may be as a result of inactivity of the account or dormancy of the account. Security and safety. Security in the area of fraudsters already monitoring your account, waiting for alert to hit for them to clear everything. So many people have left their ATM pin unguardedly accessed by fraudsters. Some have clicked links on the WhatsApps and Telegram groups and shared their BVN or code OTP to sensitive areas of their account with scammers and fraudsters. This is where there will be a real problem because as the fund enters, the scammers and the fraudsters or hackers that have been monitoring your account will simply wipe it. God forbid that the fund belonging to the NGO is wiped completely from the NGO's account, either the cooperative or the foundational account. That implies all the beneficiaries under those organizations will not receive alert. This security information is to all NGOs. Approach their account officers and request for a lien to be placed on their account. A lien or a post-no debit should be placed on their account, pending when they will approach the bank and unlien it for disbursement to take place, or to ensure no individuals elsewhere have access to the account. If you are new to our channel or haven't subscribed before, kindly click on the subscription button and activate the notification bell. Sometimes some people don't get our updates because they don't turn on the notification bell. Activate the bell, hence when we publish our next content, you will be immediately notified. Summarily, before we depart today, be rest assured that the reason for the delay is finally over, and starting from this week, disbursement will commence and roll out to other NGOs and beneficiaries throughout the month of June and end officially in July 2025.
All right, good morning, Grant Ecosystem. Welcome back to the update. And you just heard it, and this is not the first time we are hearing this kind of information from Ojelivia. We just pray that this time around it sticks and we all celebrate. So what is your thoughts? Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe and share this video because this happened to be a good news when it comes to pass.